Hey everybody, just Jesse here, welcoming you back into another day of accountability and another day into my man cave, my garage. How's your guys' accountability doing today? I hope it's doing well. Today is Wednesday, it's July 15th, the year 2020, and today is part 2 of Jesus' character. We're still in Matthew chapter 22, but these verses we're going to look at today are verses 23 through 33. So here in this section we see the Sadducees. They're trying to trap Jesus with a question on a marriage issue. Now let's take a look at the Sadducees for a minute to understand them. While the Sadducees sect was the smallest religious sect in Israel, they in many ways held most of the power. They were society's upper echelon of people, and they held control of the temple and its operation. Their beliefs were opposite of the Pharisees. The Pharisees had more of a conservative look on what the Bible talked about or what the scriptures talked about. So that being said, the Sadducees were more liberal. They took things more literal of what they read, and they really only looked at the 5 books of Moses and the Pentateuch. So they didn't really regard the rest of Scripture as truth. They just looked at what they wanted to, and they felt that they were the most pure preservers of true faith by doing that. Also, the Sadducees didn't believe in angels or a spirit or the resurrection of the dead. So really the Sadducees were trying to trick Jesus using what was called I think it's a Levirate marriage, which means basically that marriage to the husband's brother. This marriage was included in the law of Moses in order to keep his line from dying out. Now, this marriage talked about if a husband dies from unforeseen circumstances or prematurely, then he could marry. Then the widow could marry the brother-in-law or the next of kin, who would then raise up the child in the dead husband's name. So the Sadducees asked Jesus if a woman lost several husbands to premature death, to whom would she belong in heaven? Which is weird because the Sadducees didn't believe in heaven, nor did they believe in the resurrection. So they were trying to trap Jesus in that question. But Jesus explained that there is no marriage in heaven, so their question was irrelevant. Jesus told them that they were the ones that were far from the understanding of the truth and from God, and they were ignorant to boast that they know Scripture. And now Jesus tells them that they just don't get it. Like, they're blockheads. They're telling them that they don't know what they're talking about because they don't know the Bible or God. Now, if you were some of the upper echelon members of society who ran the temple, you had your own temple guard assigned to your temple. The Romans gave you all of the rule that you wanted over it. What would you think if you were a Sadducee in this event where Jesus tells you, you don't know what you're talking about, you're a moron, in the most polite way? So Jesus then, as he explains everything to them, he asks them a question basically to prove to them that using their own scripture, there is an existence of resurrection and of heaven. I mean, how awesome is it that Jesus mic drops on these guys? Since they were the ones that always showed off, they were the ones that always were better than everybody else. They were in it to try to prove that they were the best, that they were the most pure, that nobody knew more than they did. And this story took place just one day after Jesus cleared the temple. He flipped the tables from the money changers and the salespeople there and drove them out of the temple. Like, what a great story that is. It's something that is not just a fictional story. This happened. uh, it was to take on a sect of the religious people. This was a turning point in how they saw Jesus. They now saw him more of a threat than just a teacher. This is the beginning of when they started to see the turn of wanting to kill him. They didn't want him to be teaching the truth because it made them look like a liar. So this story is really, really important. And it's just the second question that they go through in Matthew 22. So there will be a part 3, and we'll go over that tomorrow. But I hope that this section of Scripture really spoke to you like it did to me today. And if it did, please pass this out to your family and friends, to your circle. Get it out to them. Some of them may be needing to hear this and not knowing it. A lot of people don't know what they need until you have been able to give it to them. So by all means, send it out to them and let them know that you're thinking of them. If you guys like what I'm talking about, throw those thumbs way up. And if you've stumbled across my channel by accident, well, I thank you for joining me today. And I hope that you keep joining me as my trek every day to reading into the Bible and vlogging what I've learned. The only difference now is that I will be not putting a video out on Sunday. However, I will still be in Scripture. But we'll do this like a Monday through Saturday type thing. So if you don't see me on Sundays, just know that I'm praying for everybody out there. And just know that we're coming back at the beginning of the week, and we'll be in it to win it. So I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope that you are being blessed by God, and that you're going and growing as always. All right, guys, have a good night.